My name is Barshang Haji Yunus. I'm 27 years old. Here in Athens, I'm an interpreter working with NGO for migrant and refugee in Athens. I'm come from Syria, Amuda, Kurdish Syria. My mother tongue is Kurmanji. I'm Kurdish native speaker and Arabic because I'm living in Syria. We should speak because we learn in the school Arabic language. We should speak Arabic. So Kurmanji, Arabic, and because I used to live in Kurdistan, Iraq for 4 years ago, so I am speaking Sorani. I went to university 1 year, technology computer, a bachelor. I didn't continue because I moved to Kurdistan, Iraq. I decided to leave 2016. It was my decision. My family, they said, better to leave from there because my future, it was very bad. I can't study there. It was very bad because we are Kurdish and also because I have homosexuality problem there. That's why I decided to live there. But my family, they didn't know about my homosexual. When I was to leave from Syria, it was almost 21 years old. I decided to continue my study and yes, to be freedom. The almost reason to be freedom, to be honest. I arrived since 2016, 27th of February, by boat from Kurdistan, Iraq to Turkish by walk, and then to Greece. And I arrived in Chios Island from Turkish by boat with my cousin's family. Almost 2 days by fair to Athens. It was very fast from Chios to Athens and here. Very fast with the paper and with everything. But in Idomeni it was very bad situation. The police said to us, you should wait until I think they say the bus they will come to take you to the border, but it was fake. We booked the ticket from metro station and we go to the Thessaloniki. From there we go by walk to Idomeni. It was very difficult. I can't imagine what I did. It was very difficult. I just arrived in Chios Island. So I was very happy because the border it was open. I can continue my trip to other country. Then I went to Idomeni border. I lived there 4 months ago. We wait for because between the European and Turkish they decided some rules. They decided because they will close to border. They put people to a relocation program, so they back us to Athens and they doing the relocation program. But in Idomeni it was very difficult, very cold, and I was with the family, with 3 children, with their mother. It was really very difficult, you can imagine. I found the lady, she was a volunteer in Idomeni. She's from Switzerland and she helped me a lot. And she suggested to help me to put me in the hotel here. She helped me a lot, paid the hotel and everything. We went to asylum service here in Katakhaki to apply for asylum service or in relocation program. There was Skype calling to. First of all, you have to call the Skype to make the registration of the application of the relocation program. And then they reject me because I have to stay in Greece. I have something personal special here. I have to stay here. I applied for Greek asylum. It was very difficult. I don't know. Even I didn't know how to speak English because I know the English, but I learned here English, to be honest. So she helped me a lot with the asylum, with everything. A lot of people here, they want to registration for a relocation program. It was like I don't know how many days. I went every day, and I have to wake up from 4 o'clock to have a line or to have to book your line, something like that. Let's see, and then you have to wait until 3 o'clock. They said we finished today. You have to come tomorrow, and then the same story. You have to wait. So I was very suffered. I was very angry. Really, I had the psychological problem with these things. Almost 4 months, something like that. Then I found the guy who's from Algerian, an interpreter. He helped me. He helped me where I have to go, and when and what time. He sent me to. He was working with asylum, so he gave me the appointment, and then they make the registration for me. They moved me from Katakhaki to Anipoli, Alimos. And then we started to make the paper and the interview. It was like 5 hours for all the refugees, the same. It was going to Katakhaki, find the asylum to have a paper with you. So because I didn't have any paper, just my ID card in Syria. So the first step it was to find asylum in Alimos, and it was interview, and then the third one they reject me, and again I have to apply for asylum service in Greece. The problem for me it was when they reject me in the relocation program, so I didn't know how I have to do the things, because it was very difficult to find a lawyer, to find the special lawyer, because I have special things because I had court, and I have to apply for asylum. You have to wait for 7 months because it was very slowly. They have a lot of people, so I think this situation it was very difficult for me. The one organization they was very helpful. Greek Council Refugee (GCR). They had two lawyers and one interpreter. They helped me and they came with me in court in Syros, and now I am fine. They helped me with all the solution. I had also the economic situation, the problem. They helped me also with these things. I used to speak a little English and my mother language and Arabic. So I think it was very helpful when I speak English in Idomeni, because the volunteer they came with the things to child. They give them a milk, and they bring shoes and some stuff for refugees. So I help a lot of families there, like as I can. I help as I can. When I arrived from Idomeni in Athens, I was very shocked because I see too many people. It was very crowded, the new language, new faces. So I was very shocked, and slowly, I learned something. I found a friend. I found the LGBT group here. They helped me a lot with volunteer. I have no idea about the Greek before when I arrived here. I have no idea. I heard from the television, from the TV show, something like that. It was bad economic here, and then it was fine, something like that. Not more, to be honest. Greece is nice country. Is very good. People are very warm. They are very welcome with the migrant refugee. But the things is very difficult for me. It was very difficult to find a job, and for study. You can't study if you don't have any paper, if you don't have nothing here. It was difficult since it was not very difficult. In those time I found the home. Now I am much better. Yes, much better. My life is much better now. I am living in Kipseli almost 3 years with my friends. are refugee here. Now is much better. I am very happy. I found a job. I have a lot of friends here. I'm studying and also I'm studying English and also Greek language also from 1 year until right now. But it is very difficult to learn. Greek language is very difficult. I used to go every day, but now every Monday and every Wednesday. Now I am studying at the British Council in Athens. So I had got some scholarship from Derry American College here. I'm studying English General, intermediate English. Yes, I had scholarship with at the Derry American College in Syria. I study technology computer. I hadn't worked in Syria. Just I studied but in Kurdistan, Iraq, I worked a lot because I am chef also. I work in the hotel and I work with my brother with the decor. It was my it wasn't my first choice, but now I love the Greece. I have a job. I have a very good friend. I have a normal life here, so I want to live here now for as far as as I have job. I'm learning Greece in online. I had some courses from the different organization here, so I learn. I'm I'm talking with people in Greek language to to learn more about the language here. Yes, I have too many training here with UNHCR Refugee Festival Food 2 years. One is it was 2016 and the other one 2017. So I take the place as a chef with the UNHCR in the Festival Refugee Food. First of all, you should learn the language of the country and to mix with the people, the Greek people. So I found that job also. I have a friend here. So that's all. All the things is very good for everyone. We must to accept everyone. We must to have a new friend and because you need them and they will need you for to learn language. Anything I make by study and by the group because I had some training. I worked as volunteer, so I know the people from this way. I used to be volunteer with refugee LGBT and here and also as I because I am member of this group. So it is good for me. I think it is very helpful to help each other and to have new international people, and also because it is a human right. We have to think about the human right. That's why it is good for me as volunteer. Yes, for solidarity. For me is social media, and the second is my social work. If I need something, I just write here, and she inform me all of the information about the medicine, hospital, anything I want. And I'd advise if there is, of course, because they have war and they have bad situation. I suggest they should come here, but also in Greece there is difficult situation. People are living in camp in Mytilene. There is a lot of problems there. So I don't know. I can say no. I don't suggest for to people to come here. They have to know they wait from in the camp and they stay there 6 months, and then they should move with the paper to Athens or to Saloniki, and they should know they have also the big camp, the long camp. They should wait. People they have to be patient, more patient. They should also know they have to learn the language, they find the job, because the housing project is not for all the life. You should move. Now there is the new rules for the migrant here. If you take your asylum after 3 months, you should go out, because you give the chance other people, they waiting in the street, in the camp, they don't have house, they are suffering. To find a house, you have to be illegal here. You have a paper and you have to registration to there is 3 or 4 organization, Praxis, Arces, Solidarity Now. You have to go there, and you have all the time you have to go there to registration to remind them to give you the house. For the job, I found from the website, because my social worker helped me, so I applied for the job and they accept me after interview and the things. For other things, I think also the copy paper from the organization also helped me a lot. Helped me to find the place I need. As I had experience before from 2016 right now, I think the migrant or refugee, they should know there is difficult situation when you arrived here. You have to be patient, and you have to learn the language. I think don't think Europe is like paradise, as I think before. So they should know all of these things. For volunteers, they should know what the position have to do and how many hours. I think volunteer is not like volunteer. You should be like more in the time. You should work, I think, a little bit harder with the people, because the migrant, they need them. I received help from the Council of Refugee, GCR, and I had also from the Larissa Station, my group, LGBT refugee here, and I have received help from the Solidarity Now and the Praxis, and also from the Asylum Service also as well. I would love to be an interpreter, work with the refugee. I love this kind of the job. I love this to help people, to listen to them, and yes, I would like to also be as a chef. It's my goal. I would like to be like a famous chef. This is my first things, and also after 10 years, and also to be like a manager of the organization with the migrant and with the LGBT, because I are very suffered here in Greece. They have difficult situation here. When I was in Syrian, I think yes, I was like European style. So for now, yes, sure, my life is completely changed between when I was in Syria now and I am here. Completely changed. I think I'm more close in European.